See, back in the day, when I was coming up, when I was a teenager around the late 50s, early 60s, young man in the around 67, I was about 21. See, when I was coming up, we uh, we were part gangsters, part pro-black, part philosophers. You know, we was reading Iceberg Slim along with Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, you know, uh, Omar Khayyam, cats like that, reading science books, you know. When I was coming up back then, we were a little gangsterish, you know, a little pimpish, a little pro-blackish, because coming up in Detroit, we had to fight the police. We had to fight we didn't like the Jews. We peeped their whole card a long time ago in Detroit. We started realizing, excuse me, we started realizing that it was a gangster's world, a gangster's paradise. A friend of mine, you know, he was selling dope, kind of big in Highland Park. He introduced me to this book about Kennedy. Uh, John Kennedy's old man was a gangster. And he let me use it, I read it. And then we started realizing that the Catholic Church, because Kennedy was an Irishman. So we started breaking down the different Caucasians and their tribes. We went all the way back to their tribes to see how they rolled, see how they thought. And they had the Irish gangsters, the Irish mafia, and the we knew about the Chinese gangsters, and we knew about the Italians. And like I said, I had two uncles that was gangsters over there on Hastings Street, and I would run with them, and they would take me around to the Jews, and sometimes they take me around the Italians, but mostly the Jews, because the Jews at that particular time, uh, they were operating haberdasheries and clothing stores on 1214 Finkel, mostly all around the west side was Jews, you know. And so when we started moving in their neighborhood, they started trying to bully us, but we was of that generation that we weren't bullied. We were bully proof. And we was the bullies, because we started, like they be selling papers. Shit, man, we take their paper. You can't operate, you can't sell no papers over here, white boy. And so then, the police, some of them were involved in it. But see, they had a motorcycle gang called the Highwaymen. And then they had a hot rod gang. Dudes looked like Fonzie, Fonzie, drove hot rods. We ran them from away from over there. And when I look at, brothers in other cities, y'all was mingling with them, you know, uh, and they was running like in New York. The mafia and the Jews run New York, but in Detroit, shit, we was robbing the mafia, man. That's right, we would rob them. We was some bad dudes, you know, and eventually we outnumbered them. See, a lot of us back in those times were influenced by the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Panthers, uh, other black organizations. Not so much King. It was a lot of a lot of church people dug King, but the street brothers that didn't go to church, and halfway didn't hardly go to school. They dug, the Nation of Islam, Malcolm, and uh, not so much. We didn't know about too much about Farrakhan, but mostly Malcolm and H. Rap Brown and Stokely and all them. See, we was into them and into that militant. We was real militant, man. And so nowadays, and see, and another thing, put emphasis on, we had black businesses. We always had black businesses, predominantly in black neighborhoods. Uh, in Detroit, man, we had guys owning apartment buildings, black owning apartment buildings, grocery stores, little mom and pop stores, but also grocery stores. It was a few of them, not a whole lot, but now it's none hardly. And see, y'all, when y'all come along, y'all used to seeing Chaldeans and Arabs and Chinese running stores and stuff, and Jews and stuff running stuff, and even uh, East Indians running stuff. And y'all used to seeing black people running very little. So when Nipsey was about to bring all that back, Nipsey was deep, man. He was a scientist. Him and this little African-born brother from Ghana, I forgot his name. These are scientists, man. They was getting ready to step on some toes. Now they say they're gonna keep on going on with it, but I know something gonna interfere uh, because they had to knock off Nipsey to put fear in their heart, to put fear in their heart. So, like I said before, uh, it's bigger than Eric, who y'all call Eric Holder. It's bigger than Darden. It's bigger than Nipsey's family. It's bigger than uh, the Nation of Islam. You know, these people, and I'm gonna show it to you again. You know, who running things? They run, these people right here own all. They're trying to own. It's an illusion, but they want us to think that they own this because see, they got the army. They got the biggest gang. Now, when we take this back, to the medieval times of when the Moors, you know, when they was running Granada. See, y'all don't know that the Moors invented chess, do you? The Moors invented symphonic music. They gave Europe a lot of culture, a lot of language, a lot of art. But around the Inquisitions, right after the Moors, you know, around they fall, they was running this. They was running Spain, mostly Spain, and they was all living in harmony. The Christians, the Jews, and the Spaniards. I mean, the Moors. You know, they was all living together in pretty nice harmony. And then they, when the Moors when they fell, then the Christians had to start having this Inquisition. Now in this video we ain't got time enough to talk about it, but the Jews, some kind of way, blended in with the Christians. And they've been doing it ever since. They've been blending in and taking over different organizations, Christian organizations. But Uncle Sam is the military arm. Vatican City State is the spiritual. They got all the black man's books and knowledge. That's when you get into Socrates and different things like that. London City State economics, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. DC City State. See, these is nations, man. Independent from the United States. Independent from UK. Independent from Italy and Rome. See, it's bigger than and trickier than what you think, man. Their only thing is to get some real estate so they can own what's in it. Gold, oil, whatever they need. Y'all better get... Anyway, might come back with another one. Get a little deeper. Build on it. Black light.